Happy Father's Day. Today we're doing something that might actually be impossible. We're ranking the fathers of House of the Dragon, and considering the show features dads who started civil wars, ignored family feuds, traumatized their children, and occasionally married them off to their cousins, the competition is intense. So let's rank the major fathers of House of the Dragon from best to worst. And by worst, I mean absolutely worst. Let's start with the king himself. Viserys the First Targaryen genuinely loved his children, especially Rhaenyra. In fact, no one can accuse Viserys of not loving his family. The problem is that love doesn't automatically make someone a good father. Viserys spent years avoiding conflict between his children rather than addressing it. Aegon, Aemon, Helaena, and Daeron grow up feeling like second-class citizens compared to Rhaenyra. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra spends years believing her father's wishes alone will protect her claim. His refusal to deal with family tensions allows resentment to grow until eventually it explodes in the Dance of the Dragons. Viserys loved his family, but he may have accidentally doomed it. Final rating, B- dad. Corlys Velaryon is complicated. On one hand, he genuinely cares for his family. He wants greatness for House Velaryon and works tirelessly to build its legacy. On the other hand, sometimes it feels like Corlys loves the idea of legacy more than the actual people carrying it. Laenor is pushed towards responsibilities he doesn't want. Laena spends much of her life serving family ambitions. Even after losing both children, Corlys continues focusing on the future of his house. Still, unlike many dads in Westeros, Corlys eventually learns from his mistakes. Final rating, B- dad. Now here's where things get interesting. Daemon Targaryen is many things. A warrior, a dragon rider, a menace, a therapist's worst nightmare, but as a father, surprisingly mixed. He clearly loves Baela and Rhaena. They're among the few people whose opinions genuinely matter to him, yet Daemon is often emotionally distant. His daughters spend much of their lives trying to understand what he's thinking. And let's be honest, having Daemon as a father probably comes with a lifetime supply of emotional baggage. Still, compared to some fathers on this list, he's practically winning awards. Final rating, B- dad. Let's talk about perhaps the most underrated father in the series, Lyonel Strong. Lyonel consistently gives wise advice. He supports his sons. He tries to guide Harwin towards making better decisions. And perhaps most importantly, he actually understands his children's flaws without hating them for it. In a franchise where parenting often resembles a disaster movie, Lyonel is refreshingly normal. Unfortunately, being one of the best fathers in Westeros also means you're probably doomed. Final rating, A- dad. This one hurts. Harwin Strong may have had very little time with his children, but every scene we get tells us everything we need to know. The way he looks at Jacaerys, Lucerys, and Joffrey, the way he instinctively protects them, the way he risks everything simply by caring about them publicly. Harwin never gets to openly call them his sons, but everyone watching knows exactly how he feels. Final rating, A- dad. Otto Hightower sees family as a political strategy. His relationship with Alicent is built around duty and ambition. Nearly every major decision involving his daughter revolves around advancing House Hightower's position. Does he care about Alicent? Probably, in his own way. But Otto's version of parenting often feels like more managing an investment portfolio. Final rating, I'm gonna give him a D- dad. This category comes with a giant asterisk because we haven't seen much of him as a father. Aegon II Targaryen clearly loves his children. His reaction to Jaehaerys' death is genuine and devastating. For perhaps the first time in his life, we see him completely broken. The tragedy is that Aegon inherited generations of dysfunction before ever becoming a father himself. Could he become a better father than Viserys? We'll never know. The war made sure of that. Final rating, incomplete grade. And now the winner, or loser, depending on how you look at it, Jaehaerys the First Targaryen. I know, wait, what? Not Otto, not Daemon, not Viserys? Nope, it is Jaehaerys the First Targaryen. The king remembered as one of the greatest rulers in Targaryen history, but as a father, the record is rough. Many of his daughters spent their lives feeling ignored, controlled, or trapped by expectations. Several children became estranged. Others lived deeply unhappy lives. Jaehaerys was incredible at governing a kingdom. His family was another story, and that's one of George R. Martin's favorite themes. Being a great ruler doesn't necessarily make you a great parent. So who wins? For me, it's between Lyonel Strong and Harwin Strong. One provided wisdom, patience, and guidance. The other provided unconditional love despite impossible circumstances. If I had to pick one, Lyonel Strong takes the Iron Throne of fatherhood, which, considering how everyone else in the show behaves, might actually be the safest throne in Westeros. But let me know in the comments who was the best father in House of the Dragon, and who do you think did the most damage to their family? Happy Father's Day, and remember, no matter how stressful your family gatherings are, at least nobody is bringing dragons.